Good morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America. And hello to everyone watching on replay. You may be able to hear in the background, I've got Noah with his squeaker toy. If you're here, please do say hello. If he gets too noisy, I will kick Noah out. But for the moment, I'm going to have him here. Hello, Roseanne, and hello, Nikki. Thanks for joining me today from Arizona. I'm going to give people another moment to find me here and make sure everything's working right. Facebook has changed the live video setup just a little bit on my phone app, but I think it's okay here. So, hi Paula. You just missed me saying that Noah's here in the background. He's got his squeaker snake, so he may get a little noisy. We'll see. So today I've got a couple of cards planned out using the Blackberry Beauty Designer Series paper. And I know I've shown it to you guys before. It is, I do love the Blackberry Bliss color. That's the purple color that's in my logo and my graphics. And it's paired with this really cool gold foil, very shiny. It's got some rich raspberry in there, which I also like. It's paired with cinnamon cider, which I would never have thought of doing, but it works. It's very rich. It's pretty autumnal, which makes sense. Stampin' Up! Is a North American company, and it is autumn there, but I don't care. It's spring here, and I'm going to use it anyway. I'd say this is probably my least favorite sheet, but I don't hate it. Oh, there it goes. And there's always the other side. Yeah, I've had fun playing with it. And then this one, which is totally different, it doesn't have any of the purples in it. It's got the soft suede, so it's browns and the gold. And this I think is just beautiful. It's got that on the other side. That's beautiful too. But I have some ideas for this that I am not going to be doing today. But I do have things prepped for a couple of other cards. The first one, I actually am casing from or recreating from a tutorial. My upline Kylie is part of a group of demonstrators that from all over the world. They do a tutorial bundle, and as part of her team I get that bundle each month, and this month they were featuring Blackberry Beauty, and so I did not buy the whole suite. In fact, the only thing I bought from the suite really, I guess the timber, I think the timber embossing folders from that suite. So I bought that, and I bought the paper, and I don't think I bought anything else from the suite. So I know I don't have the stamp set and dies, which is fine. I'm going to substitute some things. But this is the card that Zara Premji from Canada designed for the tutorial, and I am going to recreate it with slightly different products. This is the ribbon, the gold ribbon that was part of the suite, and I didn't buy that either, so I'm going to substitute something else. So I'm going to set all of this part aside, and I'm going to do the stamping first, I think. And I'm going to bring in a used piece of, I'm going to be doing a bunch of stamping off today, and I have a brand new piece of grid paper there, so we'll keep that a little pristine for now. But on this square, she did some spattering, and she probably used either a water painter or her her brush, and I can try that. So if you take your Stampin' Write marker, you can flick it. I am not at all good at this. Oh, there we go. And get some specks of color on there. I'm going to stop there. Stop while the getting's good, right? Hi, Lorraine. Glad you joined me today. Lorraine is in Canberra, Australia, and they have been on lockdown, but they are going to get out Thursday night, Friday morning. And people up in New South Wales got out on Monday, and that's especially true if you are double vaccinated. If you're not double vaccinated, there's things you can't go do that other people can. So, just seeing how this is working. Stamp a couple of those there. This one's going to be lower again. And we got the news late yesterday that here in Victoria, we may hit our target of 70% double vaxxed a few days earlier than expected. So we may get to open up a few days earlier than expected in our first step, which is it's a much more conservative step than New South Wales has taken. But that is awesome thing to be thinking about. Oh, I didn't need to do that yet. I need to stamp another one of those on here, full strength. And yeah, so that news has got us a little giddy in this house to see if we can move that forward some. Still won't be able to have people in the house until early November, it looks like, but a lot of restrictions will be gone. Okay, so now I need to cut this out, and it does have a coordinating die here. And I brought my mini Stamp and Emboss. Yeah, so that's one way to achieve the spattered look, Lorraine. Another one is to use a water painter and then like tap it against your finger, get it nice and wet and get ink on there. I find that if I'm not using a really big piece of paper, I find that often makes a really big mess. My favorite way to do spatters is usually a spatter stamp. I had that ready to go, but I decided to try and it worked. It's much finer spray, which is a good thing in this case. Okay, let's see how this one works. I can hear Noah with his squeaker. Oh, here he comes back. He was really clingy this morning. Just back and forth between me and Glenn. Snuggle me, you love me, right? Snuggle me. Get in there. There we go. Hello, Renata. Thanks for joining today. Okay, so there's that one. And it is darker than the other ones. That's good. Okay, out of the way for now. Goodness. Put those out of the way. So I think set those aside and we'll do a little stamping for the sentiment. Now couple different options. I can't quite decide what I want to put on here. She did hers in 2 strips. And like I said, I don't have that stamp set. You can see I don't have this one that came with this suite, but the one I've got here, it's pretty close. So I'll put that on there. I may come do a little coloring in there to make it stand out a little more. Let's take a moment and do that. What might we do here? So I've committed now, right? Unless I stamp it again. The flowers at least. What else is going on? Oh, good. I'm glad you're giggling over Noah's squeaky toy. I thought about shutting him out, but I thought, no, I know there's a couple people who like hearing him there, so. Yeah, he's a good boy. Let's see how that looks on here. Yeah, it just helps it pop a little bit more, maybe. I may decide this has ruined it and have to stamp it again. We'll see. So for those of you who are Stampin' Up! Demos, just before I came on here, I caught a little bit of Sarah and Shelley's live Q&A session on the Demonstrator Planning Place over on Facebook. And they're always fun together. You might take some time to go watch the replay on that. I thank you for being here with me. For those of you who don't know, Sarah and Shelley is co-founder of Stampin' Up! And Sarah is one of her daughters, who is now the CEO. Yeah, I like that to make it stand out a little bit more. Okay, so still thinking about what I'm going to do for a sentiment. I think I'm going to do this one. I just kind of like it today. It says, "Trust me, you're lovely." I like its size, I like its sentiment, I like the shape of it. So I'm going to use my embossing buddy. Make sure, minimize the amount of extra powder I get on there. Bring in my sticky Versamark ink. Put that on. Oh, must be babysitting? Yeah, no. And he likes to dig the squeakers out. That's usually the first thing he does. We're kind of trying to get him to remember how much he likes making them squeak. So he's taking a little longer than normal to do them in. There we go. So this is what I do to keep the powder from going everywhere. I've got it in the container and I can just dump right back in there. And then this box helps contain from when I like close the container and blow it with the heat tool. This is going to take a moment here, but hopefully you'll be able to see it. Change. There, it's starting to change. There we go. So set those aside. I have things perched everywhere. So now to figure out how to cut that down to go onto the card. I think I'm going to set that aside and start assembling and then make that decision. So this is going to get glued on. And this, I think you can see the texture. I ran it through the Timber 3D embossing folder. And I'll get it on there. With my glue. Come here, glue. I know you sat overnight. This I cut just a couple millimeters smaller than my card base. And I got a little glue oozing there, so bring in my adhesive eraser. And again, both the embossing buddy and the adhesive eraser have been dropped from the Stampin' Up! Catalog. But if you're in Australia and you don't have them and you would like one, let me know, because I have a small stock of them that I bought from another paper crafting company, and I am selling them to people who would like one just at my cost, because I think they're so useful to have. Just get an idea of how she arranged her squares here. So one of those like that, little cattywampus that way. And this one, a little cattywampus this way. Down a bit more centered. And this one goes pretty much straight, which is always kind of hard to tell. That's going to go in the center there. Okay. So, get some glue on there, and you can see this is two sides of the same paper. Okay, there we go. And put that on with dimensionals. Sorry, I get less chatty when I get more concentrating. I've spent the last few days preparing materials and directions for 2 of my classes this month. Let's put that there. I've got my monthly medley class on Saturday. I've got 5 different assorted cards. They'll probably be on my blog. I'm trying to see this straight with parallel with these. Probably next week I'll show those. And then the following week I've got part 2 of my Tidings of Christmas series. And since they're the same people who bought both kits, I decided I'd try to get them ready to go at the same time. Okay, I'm gonna do some hand cutting here, I think. Start with this one. Don't think I want to keep it totally straight, but let's start with that. Well, maybe, since, I don't know, that's also very straight edges. Let's see about fussy cutting around here. I think that's what I want. But I think I want it popped up. So let's see how we can do that. Do 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 do. about there, and I can see where there's something I want to neaten up. Sorry, you guys get to watch all this really exciting stuff here. Okay, but of course there's something else I wanted to do before I put that down. So let's see if I didn't push it too hard. Okay. Now, she's got threads from the ribbon that was in this set. Look at that knot. I was cutting this for my kits, my class kits. This is where I was headed with that. And I got the length that I wanted, and I noticed there's a knot in the middle of it. Every once in a while, I'll find that something's been spliced in the middle of a roll. It's just life. So I will cut the knot out, and I will use bits of it on today's project. Like I said, she unraveled the ribbon that came with this suite to get the long weft threads from it to stick behind, which is a really cool look. You can see it here in the picture, but I don't have that ribbon. The gold ribbon I have doesn't unravel that way, so I'm going to use some of this, they call it elegant trim. I'm going to get another couple lengths, about the same length. See how much we can get them to behave. That's the problem with these guys. So we'll see here. What I'm gonna do, this little tear and tape. I think we're just going to do a little more insurance there. And we're going to put that back. Little dot of glue. Okay, so there's that. She like that. There we go. That went a little bit everywhere. That's okay. And then she put a gold dot up in this corner. But I'm thinking maybe in that corner to kind of balance it out. Okay. What do you think? My little desktop vacuum here. Love it. So there's that one. Let's see. I will put Berry Vanilla on the inside of that one. And then I have another one. So this frame has been sitting on my desk for weeks and weeks. And something like this has been in my head to play with it. This is as far as I got this morning with preparing. So, my paper here. I think what I'm going to stamp on this one, this is out of Quiet Meadow, and this seems to have long spiky, well, long. I'm going to try this. And this time I'm using Rich Razzleberry instead of the Blackberry Bliss, because I think that's more the color on the background of this designer series paper. So we'll see how that goes on there. I think I have very mixed feelings about that. So I have another idea, and I'm going to grab a thing or two and be right back. Okay, I think what I would prefer, actually, I don't know if you can see in there, I think that is very much like that. So I'm going to cut one of those. Here. Hello, Leslie. Thanks for joining me. I think I'm gonna like this better. looking to see what you guys can see. Decide if I actually want that. Oh yeah, it needs something. But is that what I want? Okay, I'm gonna trim this and be right back. See how this looks. Yeah, I like that better. I'm getting there. And I think this needs something in the background. So let's figure that out. Maybe we'll do speckles again. Should we do the speckles with the... I kind of liked it with the... Let's try this again. So did you catch how I did this? The tip of the brush marker flicked on the edge of the lid. Some people just do it with their finger. But that, I think, worked quite well. Just makes it a little less stark. Yeah. Just figuring out how I'm going to attach that now. Okay, here we go. Now, I might have put adhesive sheet on the back of this rich raspberry paper before I made the die cut. I also could have put, all of these thoughts went through my head, could have put the foam adhesive sheet, which would have cut it out and let me pop it up really easily, but in the interest of time, we're just going to go with what we've got. Stay. And I'm going to snip that off. And let's see what we got here. I don't use these very often, but I'm going to today. These are foam adhesive strips. that aside for a moment. Get this stuck down. Okay. You can see that is poking through a little bit. Okay. I like that. I'm going to pop that up as well on regular dimensional. So one of the things about these foam adhesive strips is that they are just ever so slightly taller than our regular dimensionals, which sometimes is a good thing, actually. And I'm going to kind of like that this sits a little bit lower than the frame. So, and again. And I have these gold metallic pearls. I'm going to put them in the center of these flowers. There we go. And I am thinking about a sentiment for this one. Thinking. Let's give it a little shot, see if we like it in the end. Don't have to put it on just because I make it. That's trash. For some mark. This says, sending healing thoughts. May nature's beauty bring peace to your soul. And I'm not sure it's really the sentiment that I want, but sometimes you go with the one that fits well. Okay, bring this box back in. see how we go here. Okay. All kinds of things going everywhere. Okay, let's see about getting this. I'm going to do one more, just because I can't quite make up my mind. So if you're sticking with me, I appreciate it. If not, I totally understand. Da, 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 da. This one says just because. I kind of like that better. Go through all of this again. You wish the new one had a magnetic plate? Yeah, I do too. I suppose one could buy a second magnetic plate if they ever make them available again and cut it down to the right size. I've twice now flattened out my magnetic plate according to the steps that I showed in my blog a month or so ago, and it made a huge difference, and I like using it again. So finger on that while it was still warm. goes. Okay, bring this back in. Okay, as a sentiment, I like that one better. Let's see how it looks. I like how that looks across there. I like what this says, and I kind of like the size of it better too. Figure out, should we do that? Not that. Yeah, I think there. I think it needs, I'm gonna go back to my this is long retired. I think a two-sole of this. I'm being so indecisive. This is retired, very fine gold thread. The idea is to just add a little something bright back behind there. Oh, now I did it. Okay, let's try again. Okay. Yeah. Okay, thank you for your patience. I'm gonna take these little bits that I had left over from the frame, use them to put this on. There we go. Yeah, gold embossing could be a good choice too. Sometimes I find it's not so readable, and it also, I think the white ties in with the very vanilla background a little more. But good idea, Leslie. I'm kind of happy with that, so I'm going to go with that. Put this away. So I think that is 2 cards finished today. There's 1 and 2. If you do not have this Blackberry Beauty paper, I highly encourage you to get it. It is in the current mini catalog, so it's available through the end of December, beginning of January. But that's while supplies last. Don't wait, because then it'll be gone. So I hope you enjoyed the video today, and I will be back same time, same place next week. We're all on the same clocks next week. So yeah, mark your diaries, and I will see you then. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.